There's an endless supply of personal care products like shampoos and lotions out there. Many market to families using words like non-toxic or hypoallergenic. So how do you know what really is safe and best for your family? Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine editor Angela Ardolino is here with some advice for us. We've been talking, because it can be very confusing. So first of all, are there any regulations to just kind of watch out for harmful products and harmful ingredients in products?
Not really. We think that the FDA is out there to protect us, and they are, but it's impossible for them to be able to regulate all of the chemicals that are being put in our personal care products. It's impossible for them to do it. And even if they were able to do it, the company should change them and put something else in. Sometimes the chemicals they put in products don't actually become dangerous until they've sat on the shelf for a while. Things like formaldehyde and things that keep things to make them last, and so that they could sit something on a shelf for 6 months to a year. So the FDA really isn't able to regulate and keep those toxic chemicals out of our products. And so it's up to us parents to be able to learn what's bad and make sure we don't give our kids those things.
Okay, so you mentioned formaldehyde, but there's a list of of others that are bad for us. So how do we know which ones we should avoid?
My favorite thing to do is, if I can't pronounce it, if I'm reading the ingredients and I can't pronounce something, it's usually probably something bad. But things like parabens, sulfates, phthalates, anything with the word methyl in it or glycol in it, those are usually warning signs that it's something in there, some sort of chemical compound that is not good for us. And the reason that we avoid these things is because they interrupt a child's body. They either can cause allergies, they can cause early puberty, ADHD, autism. All these things have been proven because of the different products and chemical products that kids are being exposed to cause these things. So the best part is that there's so much out there that you can get that does not have this bad stuff.
So how do we find that stuff then, the alternatives, the safe alternatives?
You do your research. I mean, the good thing is that we just need a shampoo, a toothpaste, a soap, a deodorant, a lotion, things like that. So once you find a brand that you can trust and you can turn that over and read the ingredients and see that it doesn't have any of those bad things in it, then you know that you can trust that brand. There's big brands like Johnson & Johnson. China just pulled a lot of Johnson & Johnson products off the shelves because they had toxic chemicals in it. So it's really, bigger brand doesn't necessarily mean safer. It's all up to us to simply look at those ingredients, and if something doesn't read right or doesn't make sense, it shouldn't have a whole list of a whole list of ingredients. It should just have maybe 10, maybe 12, and you should be able to recognize them. Another big thing is fragrance. People think, oh, it's great, it's going to smell good, that means I like it. Usually a lot of those things are added in and cause harm. So we have to kind of change our thinking that it doesn't need to smell good, doesn't necessarily have to lather really big on our hair when we're washing. Just look at those ingredients and make sure. And my favorite website is www.ewg.org. It's the
ewg.org.
Environmental Working Group, and they're basically the watchdogs out there, and they rate every product that's out there. So you can actually type in what product you're using either on your kids, and it'll tell you what to look for, and they'll give you safe alternatives.
Fantastic. It can be scary, but better to be safe than sorry.
Exactly.
All right, always good to see you.
Thanks.
And Angela will be back with us next week. We're going to talk about picking the right summer camp for your kids. I can't wait to hear that one. If you missed any of the points that Angela mentioned and you want to share them with some other friends that you know, just go to abcactionnews.com. You can also find help with a variety of parenting issues on the Tampa Bay Parenting website. That's tvparenting.com. And while you're there, sign up for a subscription to Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine.